Welcome back again, everybody, to Orange Track Outlaws. Today we are going to restore this 1969 Hot Wheels Redline TurboFire. This is a pretty cool car, actually. It's really not in too bad a shape. It does need a freshening up, but one of the four Hot Wheels originals from 1969. Very cool car. I think it's got the rear opening hood there to show the motor. It does have a sleek little like racing style look to it, almost kind of like the Lola GT look, but very cool car here. We are going to give this bad boy a nice restoration. I'm going to do a color change on it because I got another color of mine I want to use for a while, and we're going to put some nice wheels on there and get it all cleaned up and looking nice and new. So here comes our project here on our custom hauler. I'm going to unload our TurboFire project here and get a look at it and get this thing drilled apart and get started here. So really not too bad. Base is a little oxidized, not too bad. That's going to be able to come off nice and easy. As you can see there, it's kind of boogered up on the bottom. It is 1969 TurboFire. The rear opening hood's pretty cool with the engine in there. You can see the axles are bent up and jacked up a little bit. The wheels really aren't in too bad a shape, actually. They may be salvageable and just give them a nice little cleaning and repaint the chrome, but we'll see when we get to that point. So first thing we're going to do here is drill the post out, and since this is an older Redline with the skinny post there, they mushroom head them things out from the factory, and it's pretty hard to get the drill bit in there, so, or at least keep it straight. So use your center punch, try to get it on there as center as you close, get your little pilot hole started, so you can start drilling this thing up, make it a whole heck of a lot easier. So after we got our center punch down, we're going to go in there with our small bit and hollow us out a little hole here just to get started. Don't want to go too deep with this one just yet, because sometimes those posts underneath, they're not perfectly straight, so they may be going in some different kind of direction that you may need to change up after you get that body off there. So we've got our pilot hole started, and we're going to go in there with our bigger drill bit here and buzz those heads off. These things usually come off nice and easy. You just want to get it nice and flush there with the chassis, and you'll be able to tell. Usually if you get it just right, they will fall apart. These old ones will fall apart, and it makes it nice and easy. But get your little screwdriver in there and pry them out if you need to. Shouldn't take a whole lot. As you can see there, this top front one wasn't quite ready, but just a couple more rounds with the drill there, and it'll pop it right apart. So we'll get this thing separated, show you what the inside looks like here. Pretty basic, not much for interior here. Obviously it's kind of a race car, so it's just got the front seat. Not much going on there. We've got the small windshield. It's really not in too bad a shape for as played with as the car looks. So pretty happy with that. So here's our chassis. As you can see, it's got some older axles on it that are kind of bent up. We'll get our tool out and get those straightened up. Here's a look at our body. It's a little worn, but really not too bad, actually. So in and out of the sandblaster. And this is what she looks like here. She's got a little bit of that blast residue on. We're going to put it in our wire wheel booth, get that thing cleaned up, and see how well that body looks under that paint. After all these years, we'll get this thing shined up with our wire brush and get a good look at it here. It should be looking good when it comes out of here, and hopefully we won't have to do too much sanding. Usually if they come out looking pretty good, we can hit it with some quick 1200 grit sandpaper, and then we'll hit it with some 3 or 4/0 steel wool, get it nice and shiny, and then we'll polish it up. But if it's a little rougher, we have to back down the sandpaper and do a bunch more rounds with that. But we'll see here once we get out of the booth and get a look at the body, see what it looks like. But I think it'll be alright is from what it looked like before we started cleaning it up, hopefully at least. So just about done here. I'll pop this thing out and give you a look at how well it cleans up with just a quick sandblasting, because that paint comes off real easy being that old in the sandblaster. Now it actually looks pretty good. So here's a look at our body. Doesn't look too bad here. So now it's time to clean up our chassis with our wire wheel. This really shouldn't take much of any time at all here. We did put this thing in the sandblaster also. Got it all nice and cleaned up. Got a lot of that oxidation off there, and all that gunk that was on the bottom came off, you know, just a couple seconds really of the blaster. And we'll get this thing cleaned up, and should be actually in really good shape. Should still be shining, you know, right out of the wire wheel booth. But we will go over this real quick with a little triple aught steel wool, and try to just get it just a little bit more clean. And then we'll hit it with some soap and water, and then we'll be ready to polish this chassis up, get her shining before we're ready to put it back together. So, you know, just take your time, you know, with the wire wheels, that's for sure. Especially depends on where you get them. If you get them on eBay or something, they come from China. If they're spinning too fast and you're digging on these things, those little things fly off of there. That's why I'm in the booth. So just be careful with it. So there's our chassis. It's looking pretty good. So we got ourselves all polished up on our body, and I had this Redline shop Spectraflame Gold I've been wanting to try out, and I think this was the perfect candidate for a little Spectraflame Gold, so that's what we're going to do with it. So like I said, we did polish our body up off camera before we were ready for our paint booth. So we did get her ready to go, but didn't show it. It's kind of boring. Everybody's seen cars before. So coat one here with the Spectraflame, light tack coat. Put it on, you know, try to go nice and easy, get full coverage, get all the nooks and crannies, and then you know, let it sit for, you know, 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes or whatever, and then you can start with your next coats and start actually layering on. But you want a good tack coat, you know, give the rest of that paint something to really grab onto and stick to, and you'll be in good shape there. You know, definitely try to keep your hoods closed while you're painting, so you don't get any of that, you know, shiny new engine with some overspray. So this coat too, starting to layer it on, and it's looking shiny gold to me. I'm liking it. We're gonna let that sit for a minute. Come back here with round 3 on the Spectraflame, and we're gonna hit this thing hard again. You know, don't want to go too hard with it. You don't want to cake it on and layer it on so it's all, you know, wet and runny. But you can put a decent amount of paint on here before you get to that point. So just keep moving the car around so you're not hitting all in one spot all at the same time and loading that up. So you keep the car moving, keep it moving, and spreading the paint out, you should be okay. So this thing's looking pretty cool. I'm really liking this Spectraflame Gold look. It's looking pretty cool. So just make sure I got full coverage here. This was coat 3, and actually it's looking pretty good here as far as, you know, saturation and whatnot. We you know, after it dries, we'll get a look at it and see if we need to move on to a 4th coat or not. But right now it's looking really good. So that thing is looking shiny, nice and shiny gold. I'm sure you guys would agree. So here we are. It's to assembly time. We didn't need a 4th coat on there. I thought the gold after 3 coats was looking good. So we got our chassis here all polished up, looking good. We did take our wheels off and clean them up and reuse them this time. And I did repaint the chrome on there. And another reason was because I ran out of wheels and forgot about it. So reuse the wheels for now. And here's a look at our body, looking pretty good, all Spectraflame chromed. We did use our red Sharpie, put our tail light in there. Excuse me. And I did clean up the interior with a little soapy water. No big deal there. And I did dunk the windshield in a little floor polish just to give that thing a little extra shine to it. So we're gonna get this thing screwed back together here. Now this, since this was an older Redline, it did have those dang skinny posts in there that are kind of hard to drill out, so I did have to go with these smaller screws again, the 172 screws, and I did have to tap this thing out to fit those screws since I don't have self-tappers in that size. They're pretty small, and one thing is you got to be careful screwing them in. You don't want to torque them down too tight, or they will snap off if you go too hard on them. So just cinch them down good and lay off, and then you should be good to go. So really like how this car turned out. It's a really nice looking oldie. But I want to take a quick step back here and see what we started with. So it's our 1969 Hot Wheels Redline TurboFire. Pretty cool car here. Actually, it's a very cool car. I like them. I think I want to try and get a couple others and try some different colors. But cool car. We did a color swap. We didn't do an engine or a wheel swap this time. We did an upgrade and a refresh on the wheels. But here's a look at what we ended up with, guys. Spectra Flame Gold. I think it looks pretty cool. The aqua color, this original aqua color, that was a pretty good look too, but I'm really liking how this gold turned out. It's shiny. It's got a real nice sheen to it. I still, next time I go, I got to get some new wheels. I may replace the wheels on this, but I don't think they look really too awful bad now. So this is my restoration on the TurboFire, guys. I would like to thank you guys for tuning in to me once again. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the thumbs up, and check out the rest of my channel for my other customs and restos, guys. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks.